afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. Remember, this is the Extra Mile Show coming live right from Kibabii University. My name is Gideon. Yeah.
And I'm Linda Achaga. Today being a remarkable day, we have a special guest with us, Dr. Robert Wafula.
The senior lecturer in the institution, Developmental Psychologist. But you know what? He is the director of the Office of Career Services. You can weigh in through our social media platforms at the Extra Mile Mediator.
And you're welcome. And so, Dr. Robert Wafula. Who is Dr. Robert Wafula and what transpired you to be in the Career Services Office?
Well, Dr. Robert Wafula is a developmental psychologist, an educationist with a vast experience having taught, having been an inspector of schools, and currently a senior lecturer in the Department of Psychology, a senior practitioner of matters education and mentorship, with the accolades of being the mentor of the Kenya 1, Kenya 5, Kenya 17, and many other schools. I find passion and meaning in interacting with young people to help them not only discover but become that which they have yearned to become.
All right, that's great, Dr. Robert Wafula. Maybe will you kindly tell us briefly about interfaculty transfer?
Well, I think our mantra is that we want, in line with Napoleon Hill, that maximum joy and true happiness will only be found to a man or woman who is doing the career they love best. So we are open-handed to ensure that everybody who comes, they are willing to do that which they will be happy to do and feel fulfilled. So we give a window of opportunity after orientation for students first to examine the cut-off points, because it will be unnecessary to apply to a course where you don't qualify. So they look at the COOPS cut-off points vis-a-vis the Kibabii University cut-off in relation to schools and faculties, and also the availability of opportunity. We have courses like computing and informatics, where we have a restricted number of students they can train, not forgetting the School of Nursing that is controlled by the Nursing Council. So for those exceptions, we look at the available opportunities and advice. But for open-ended programs like School of Business and Education, as long as they meet the requisite criteria and they also feel like that is what they would want to be, then we allow them to fill in the forms, because you formally fill in the cluster points, the subjects, then the COD endorses, the Dean endorses, it is brought to the Dean's Committee, where I sit as a member. We scrutinize, and upon realizing that they qualify and that is their passion, then we advise them to move to where they're happy.
Thank you very much for that. Being a career mentor, motivational speaker, an academic advisor, a career counselor, so how do you manage all these titles?
Well, I think when you change your passion into a profession, you never even realize you're doing a different career activity from the other. Yeah. You'll just find, like being a father, buying a book and buying food the same day. You don't complain that none should have been waited for the other. So I find myself having passion to talk to students any given time. And I find passion advising either on phone, and we also have students from out. Today I was handling a case of a student from high school. We are able to give that support to the community. So the passion enables you to interact without feeling it as a burden, because you're just exuding the energy and the goodwill, the charisma that is in you in that direction.
On that note, we are taking a short commercial break, but you know what? We are having the panel, so immediately after the commercial break, we'll pick one question from the panel. Welcome back to the program. Remember that we are talking about career services in the institution of Kibabii University, and our guest today is Dr. Robert Wafula, who is the director in the Office of Career Services. Maybe we get one question from the panel then.
So, Dr. Robert, my name is Kibabii. So my question is, last week, the world was commemorating the World Mental Day, and the theme was to prioritize mental health among the members in our society. You as a mental therapist in the institution, what ways and plans have you put down as institution to enable the mental health problem have been curbed, bearing the fact that most of the students passed a lot among, for example, financial problems and other personal challenges?
Thank you very much. As an institution, we are holistic in our training, and one of it all is what we've been addressing, doing the right thing. There's a big correlation between the wrong career choice, stress, depression, and suicide. When people are doing what they don't like, that leads to a lot of breakdown in their health. They will not produce the best, because mental health is not the absence of a disease in the mind, but actually not being in a position to realize your full potential. Anything that hinders you from achieving your best is what we would call a mental health problem. So the other aspect is financial. This office has been working on a 4-year program called Endowment Fund. And so far we've been able to raise 10,036,000 aimed at generating capital to support needy students. Roughly 1 million every year, because the capital fund will be deposited in an account where we get the interest to support and to ensure that it's sustainable for almost 10 or 20 years to come. So that is one aspect of it. We also engage professionals to talk to us. Remember, like early the year, we had the best of all visitors. That is the chairman of the Kenya Psychiatric Association, who came to talk to us all the way from Nairobi to talk about what is mental health, what causes mental health, and how can we deal with the mental health challenge. We have a lot of support programs that students who are going through challenges, they have peer counselors that can talk to them. We have university counselors that will talk to them. We have the chaplaincy arm that also gives a spiritual support to ensure that our students are doing well. And of course, academic advisory helps. When somebody is not balancing their academics and their social life well, they will slide into a problem. So we always ensure we are guiding our students to ensure they balance between their social life and their academics, so that at the end of the day, we are all living a healthy life. But above all, mental health is also a choice. We encourage us to live within our means. Don't spend beyond your ability, and neither should you ape other people. Be yourself, be real, knowing that today you are struggling, that through your hard work, tomorrow you'll be there, you'll enjoy your life. So we have a lot of mechanisms to ensure that every student in Kibabii University is well cushioned against any mental breakdown.
All right, thank you very much on that note, Dr. Robert Wafula. Maybe in a previous session, you shared a moment with Hebrew journalists. So please, let's listen to this audio for a short one, and then we'll pose a question on that.
I want to celebrate that Mentorship celebrates our first PhD student who cleared his PhD yesterday in the US at Syracuse University, 2017 graduate of education mathematics option. So we are saying we are getting the wings, we are growing.
All right, that's a clip, the previous session during the mentorship program at Auditorium C in the institution of Kibabii University. Maybe would you kindly tell us about this, because you said that you are celebrating one of the 17 graduate students, right, who graduated last time with a PhD at the University of Syracuse in US. Would you kindly tell us about that briefly, and if there are any other achievements that you made, you will also share?
Well, I want to say that the Department of Mentorship as a sector has given us a lot of breakthrough. One, in the sense that I'm proud to say that Kibabii University students are proud and happy. You go to the field, you find that many employers are satisfied with the level of confidence, the level of self-direction that our students have. And I think that is bigger than a position. So because we expose our students to mentors, a mentor is somebody who is experienced in a particular line and is able to guide you so that you don't go through pitfalls. You are able to bring out the best within your line of specialty. We began way back in 2016, and you can realize by 2017, Brian Odiwar was among the beneficiaries of the program of knowing how to identify himself. If you don't know much about him, he was brought up as an orphan, brought up by a grandmother, but he was so determined. He was a student of education mathematics. So when he finished, he came over to be recommended for a scholarship at Pittsburgh College in the US, which we did even during very difficult times because it was a lecturer strike. But I was able to refer him, and luckily he got it. In the next 8 months, he had done it and got a master's degree. Then he went ahead to apply for a PhD in the US. And I want us to know that currently the US mathematics is on high demand. There are not many Americans who are taking the discipline of math. So he got a PhD scholarship at Syracuse in New York, where he's been both as an assistant lecturer and a student. So from late 2018 to 2022, he's now a full doctor in the same line, and we are hopefully that he's going to be retained as a lecturer. I'm grateful and happy for him because he came back and wedded a Kenyan student foremost in 2020 at Ciala Resort. And I went there as the premarital counselor and a mentor. So he's one of the mentors we are counting on. And a team of my mentoring institution is anchored in Hawaii in the US called Hegai. They were here in June for a week. They did a documentary. And among the people they wanted us to indicate our students who are elsewhere, I referred them to Brian Odior. Other people we have are like Baraza, Tony Baraza, an MCA second term, Bungoma County. Steve Keter, doing very well in NTV news media. We have one of our students who is now running a Facebook program in almost 4 countries abroad, Africa and parts of Asia. We have one of our journalism students attached to BBC. Short message information. We have those who are in the banking industry, Diamond Trust Bank. We have Equity Bank. And in the world of academics, we have so many of our students in the leading schools. Like school number 5, St. Bridget's Kitale, has a number of our students teaching mathematics, physics and sciences. School number 17, Kabianga School, has a student who graduated hardly after a year. He helped the school achieve a mini score of B+ from a C. So as we say, our students are flying higher and wider. We have the Dean of Computing and Informatives in MUST. He's a student, PhD student of Kibabii. We have a Director of Communications Kenya, student of Kibabii. We can mention and mention, but we realize that we are doing well. We are redefining the scales of success on the academic frontiers because of exposing our students. I always said, you cannot nurture a global child in the village. You must expose them to the world, and you bring to them mentors that will help their eyes to open and make them fly high. Another example is one of our students, and by the time he was finishing from the university hostel, he went to his own house, courtesy of motorbike business. Anyona Judge is a student running a successful motorbike business with his own house in the neighborhood. So we can say we are doing well in terms of entrepreneurship, career excellence, and confidence. Our students are confident. West TV, we have Oyondi. I can mention and mention, but that is good news, courtesy of good exposure and connection.
Well, that's very remarkable. And probably there are some challenges which you faced in your line of duty. Kindly, some of the challenges which you faced.
Well, a few challenges that we faced when we began people didn't understand what mentorship is all about. Because as we speak, mentorship has taken 2 dimensions in Kibabii. You mentor the Kibabii University student, we mentor the nation, the students from high schools from around. If you look at our folders, we have mentored thousands and thousands of students who have come here. We've made it an IGU that has raised almost 1.5 million in the past 1 year. So you realize that our impact is greater. The challenge was that people did not understand the value of mentorship. We would invite speakers and students would not be found. We would really have to plead with them to come, but over time they have appreciated that. They come by themselves. They even sometimes suggest, they go out, get very good people and say, would you mind inviting, like early this year we invited a lady all the way from UK, Lydia Tet-Olet, to come and talk to us about personality and confidence and branding, courtesy of the Gender Club. So we have a club called Mentorship that is also doing well. A few of the students there have published a book, and we have a baby in 3rd year who is soon releasing a book on the wealth within you, using your talents. So challenges have been there, but then they do not outweigh the benefits that we've had. So it was a poor attendance, which we are dealt with. It's working well. And partly resources, we are working hard to ensure we generate enough resources so that we can do massive mentorship. I want to see field days that are loaded with different companies from Kenya and outside, talking to our students about globalization and how to connect and tap into the global arena for job creativity and absorption.
All right, thank you very much. And on that note, Dr. Robert Wafula, maybe we pick 2 more questions from the panel at once, and then we'll be answering them after the panel.
Much obliged.
Dr. Wafula, let me drive back to the career issue that was posted by one of our hosts. Maybe there are any other ways or implementations that you and your department under you, because I'm for sure you have so many titles that there need to be other departments under you, or rather there need to be people under you. Maybe are there any other implementations concerning the career issue? Because there are those implementations, yes, as you have told us, there is orientation classes ongoing before students partake their courses. Are there any other implementation apart from that? Because we can still see that students, even after attending those orientation classes or so ever, still quit from their choices. Others, we have interacted with several students, because someone is a 2nd year student, maybe pursuing journalism and mass communication. This student or this child is in 2nd year and then shifts to another course. Maybe apart from the orientation classes or the many ways you've said, maybe you can explore more on that point, so that even those students watching this channel or this show, after this they can know that, okay, this was not all, I can also do this and this to maintain my position.
Thank you very much. That's a very valid and important question. The other structures that are supporting us to achieve the goal, under academic advisory, we have various levels of operation. So we begin from the departments. Every department is supposed to have what we call an academic advisor, somebody conversant with what goes on in that area in terms of employment opportunities, entrepreneurial opportunities, clubs that you need to enroll in. And we are working on an ambitious thing we call a prospectus. That will be a document from every department with a program showing us the opportunities, available things that you need to do. So in every department, we have an academic advisor who is supposed to handle the students at that basic level. That if you have a problem in journalism, you don't come to the Office of Careers at first. You can explore it with the academic advisor there. If they are not satisfied, or you are not satisfied with them, they now write as a referral. We come and explore with you opportunities that you feel you not understood. And if it's not working, we still have mechanisms of connecting you to other more experienced persons who are exposed to help you. So we have it at 3 levels. We want to work with the class reps. The class reps will always help us to identify students who have specific needs. They write to us, we will link with the class and the academic advisors. And some of the things that are beyond us and we need maybe expert advice is when I invite people for public talks. If I realize my students are having a problem in managing their money, students give them money and they eat kuku and the following day they have not paid for exams, they are not doing exams. You see, it will inform us that we need to teach them on financial management and IQ. So we can invite an expert to give us trainings, and they are there. Like Equity wants to come and give free training on that and even train us on how we can get loans and use them. Maybe before the Hustler Fund is out, I want to work around the clock and see if that program can pick up so that people can go for Hustler Fund, because it's free money. You are not giving any interest. If you are given 100, you return 100, and I'm sure soon I will see great directors coming out. So it's not only the Office of Careers. We coordinate so that we can be effective, because we are only 3 members. Dr. Wafula, Mr. Leru is the administrative assistant, and the secretary. So we cannot serve 7,000 effectively. So we need other structures to reach out, and that's why we also have a mentors club that really help to ensure that we are connected to various organs and work. So that's how we are working. So in every department, a student should find a lecturer and find out who can advise them on the opportunities. If they are not, the dean. If not, they come here now, we identify the right person to refer to.
Right.
So it is collective.
Right, thank you very much, Dr. Wafula. Maybe we can pick one more question.
Okay. My question is under your spiritual leadership. So I would like you to tell us on which strategies are you putting in place, or which strategies that you put in place to ensure that students who are joining this institution stick to their religions until they finish their studies. Because you may find that some students came here when they are fully in their religion, but end up as a result of peer pressure, they drink alcohol and turn away from their religion. So what are the strategies that you are putting in place to ensure that they stick to their religion until they finish their studies?
Fine, it is an interesting question, but what I want to say is that the responsibility of the university is to give students spiritual nurture, spiritual care, and that's where we have chaplaincy. Under chaplaincy we have patrons, but unlike the operations of the church outside the institution, ours is mainly to ensure that we are raising religious workers, people who fear God, serve God, but they are also professionals. So it is a voluntary activity in the sense that we cannot force a student to denounce their faith or to behave in a particular way. You realize that we also teach them in a neutral doctrine. Christian Union is a body that deals with almost thousands and thousands of sects. So they only take the basic trainings on how we can make somebody be religiously viable. As a Christian, how do I become a good Christian? You focus more than the real rituals that a particular church would do. So again, you realize the challenge we're having is parenting. We're having a lot of spill problems from home, where children have been neglected by parents. So when they come here at times, if they are not really guided, they are off track. Social media is also another big ground that is shaping people. They come from home, they are religious, they reach here, maybe freedom is excess. You know, the challenge of university and like high school, there are no don'ts and do's that are too many and are forced on people. We say you must be responsible as a grown-up, and indeed all of them are grown-ups. So we don't treat them the way we will treat young people. We give them a high level of chance to make decisions, but where we find they have a challenge, either they have shown it, they have come to be helped, their friends have brought them for assistance, or we just noticed and we develop interest to help them. So our interest is actually not to keep a religion. would want somebody who is of value to their society. As a Christian, one of the things I'm supposed to be is hospitable. That is Christianity. You come to my office, we can sit and talk, and then I can help you know the value of Christianity. As a Christian, I'm supposed to be responsible, knowing what to do at what time. I'm supposed to be accountable. I'm not supposed to be somebody who is corrupt. I don't engage in stealing exams. So we teach them more of the Christian values that will prosper their academics as well, so that tomorrow we have reliable workers. But we don't go to the rituals that are deeper, and there's a reserve of a church when they are done. But we are doing a lot. One of the things I appreciate, I've always believed in exposing our students to greater models. You have seen international preachers speak here. 3 years ago, we had Jordan Morris all the way from the US. He came along with the great singers like Anastasia Mkabwa, Robert Lumbasi. You have seen Kigame, you have seen Gloria. We spent quite some amount of money to bring people who are exposed to expose our students. Because in mentorship, you will only go as higher as your mentor. So if you hang on a village shoulder, you break all of you and fall down, the two of you. But you want a greater shoulder, that students who want to sing will sing on a global perspective and reach a bigger level. So we are doing more of exposing them to the right doctrine and also to guide them in morals so that they do not veer off. I don't know whether I've answered that question right.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Robert Wafula. Because of the interest of time, maybe to students, what would you like to tell them? Then, through social media handles, feel free to share.
Well, and Dr. Wafula is on Dr. Wafula - the mentor, or dash the mentor. That is my YouTube page. I've done a lot of programs and teachings that are posted there. On Facebook, I run 2 accounts. My personal, Wafula Robert, that is now fully subscribed with 5,000 followers. That led me to begin the Dr. Wafula Mentor page on Facebook. You can like it. I currently have over 1,500 members. It started around 3 weeks ago. So I want to grow it into a movement that is going to nurture our young people. And I want to say that Kibabii University is a caring university. We are student focused. We are concerned about the life of our students when they are with us and when they are out. And this, above all, would want to have the best students who are going to impact their globe, not the country, but the globe powerfully. Want to see our students strategically positioned in places of influence. I'm happy we have now deputy governors. Moranga, deputy governor, was a student here. Yeah, so we should know that. So we soon will be having governors and other senior leaders. So I want to say, a fish will die thinking it was born stupid if it thought climbing a tree like a monkey is intelligence. A monkey does not jump from one tree to another because it is intelligent, but because of adaptability. A fish does not dive under the water because it's brilliant, but it's adapted. So I want everybody to know that every career is good as long as it's your passion, is of your interest. Even when there are no employment, you will create employment. Don't be forced to go where people say it pays well or it's prestigious. Be yourself. Be the original you, the authentic you. You will live a happy, creative, and fulfilled life. Thank you very much. Your mentor, Dr. Wafula Bobrains.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Wafula, for your time. That has been an incredible and informative session we've had there.
All right, that was a great session indeed with Dr. Robert Wafula in Kibabii University. But you know what? Here, there is a pen, an executive pen that goes at 100 bob shillings only. But to comrades, remember that it's not only 100 bob. We also have another bracket that is 50 bob. Get your pen. Mine is here, and you know what? I keep it here, and we go. And this marks at the end of the Extra Mile show, the Extra Mile. I'm Gideon Yeri.
And I've been Linda Achaga.